update now from a game going on in Pittsburgh. And the Steelers there out to an early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. To throw on second down, Jones, and he finds Penny, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Jones, throwing on 1st down. It's complete to Golden Tate. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Jones. Wide open receiver complete. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Golden Tate, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Detroit! Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to let this one go deep. That's caught inside the 20. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Geis. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
They're going to look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Back to throw here. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start out on the ground at Saquon Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Jones now looking to throw on second down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. It'll be a gain of 9, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Throwing Jones. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. He'll take it at the 42. How did he stay on his feet? Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Dumps it off for Geis. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to the ground on 1st, it's Geis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now let's go. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run it now out of the gun. Heck of a move, but only able to work his way down near the 23. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout.
Three down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Geis, they'll try to run it. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. On the ground, Geis, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Leopard! Leopard!
They run with Geis. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Jones throwing again on 2nd and 10. Flush to his right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They're in the second quarter at Heinz Field, and the Steelers there out to an early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this will be caught at the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A first down carry for Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This one from 48 yards away. And the kick by Rosas is good. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Space to maneuver at the 40 and all the way out to the 45-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board. But they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Here's a give to Barkley. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that's the big fella's M.O. right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They give it to Peterson. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Jones to Barkley on the check down. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Giants have broken our tie as they take the lead. Rosas true blue on the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Rosas now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. William Hayes able to get him for a loss of about 3. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Gun! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hot! Hot!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is fielded inside the 5. Good blocking there, and nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
Here's Jones on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Ryan Kerrigan in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
4 down. Alert. Check 3. Hot. Ohio.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Well, that run good for 6 yards, but they're still looking up at a 3rd and 15.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Jones now throwing on 3rd and long. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to wind up in air. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And his throw here's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Watch it now, Barney.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone. Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get into that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Ohio.
Now Jones throwing to start the drive. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the two defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw. Jones. Coleman has it here right side. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The pitch goes to Barkley, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Jones to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
On 3rd down, Jones eluding the pressure right. Hard throw, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. This is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
So out now come the Redskins. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Leopard! Gun! Watch him now, Barney!
He'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Paul Richardson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. New York set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll go to Barkley again. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here.
4 down.
A handoff to Barkley. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Here's Jones, throwing on 1st down. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. And right now it all rests on the right foot of Aldrick Rosas. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. it's Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. And right now it all rests on the right foot of Aldrick Rosas. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And right now it all rests on the right foot of Aldrick Rosas. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And his kick is good. He knocks through his 3rd field goal of the game, and this one is the one that decides it. And the Giants win the football game. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Giants, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Washington, they dropped just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.